Well, hello, Octopus Radio.
Hi, good morning. It's Larry Miller.
Hey, Larry. It's Perry in the morning.
Hi, Perry.
It's a Larry and Perry show. Hey, man.
Well, good morning. Are we on?
Yeah, I'm going to record this and play it back tomorrow morning and
Great.
give away some tickets.
Good.
So, very cool. Thank you for doing this,
Don't
man.
be silly. Listen, I love show business, and I love everything in it.
Randy speaks very highly of you. In fact, I believe he has said that you are the biggest act what did Randy say? He said you are the act he is proudest to have at
That's so sweet.
at the club.
He's an old friend. It's been a long time. Well, you know what? Look, I meant what I said. I love show business. I've been very lucky. I'm an actor, a writer, and a comic, and I work, pretty steadily. I don't kiss a lot of women in the movies, but I work steadily.
Yeah.
And so, the thing is, though, first, last, and always, I'm a comic, and I hadn't been for a while. And about 8-10 months ago, I said to my manager, "You know what? I did a V8 slap in the forehead." And I said, "You know what? I want to be a comic again, a real toe-to-toe comic, and grow that way, and I'm never going to leave it again." And comedy, like jazz, lives in clubs. I love doing theaters. You do whatever comes up. But it's in clubs. That's where it really, really happens to me. And that's where it's really intimate and fun and personal, and what we've made it. I mean, as a country, it's a very American form. It's as American as the banjo. There's no other country that has, if you think about it, that has a tradition at all of someone standing in the front of a room and saying, "Here's what I think. Here's what I've noticed. Here's what my life is like. I'm going to tell you what I think we're doing here tonight." No one does that. Well, in most countries of the world they can do it, but only once.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then say, "What happened to that guy?" Yeah. Well, he's dead. So, at any rate, though, I love it very much, and to come to the Ventura Harbor Comedy Club is also cool because, well, it's home. I mean, I haven't been there yet, but anything. Well, us as Californians. I mean, anything within 142 miles is home.
That's right, man.
And as Carl Waxman used to say, we'll drive from the bathroom to the kitchen.
Yeah.
So, it is home. So drive up tomorrow, get to see Randy. Brian Sheila is also going to be on the show. He's a friend, and he's great. And so, at any rate, I'm going to sit down now, and after the kids are in school, and after let my wife sleep a little late, and then I'm going to sit down and write jokes.
Now, you look at Larry Miller's resume of all the TV shows, all the movies, all the appearances on Letterman, The Tonight Show, seen him most recently on Boston Legal, The Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy. It's nice to hear that Larry returning to his roots.
Well, you know what? Life is weird. Have you noticed that, by the way?
Well, on a daily basis.
I guess everyone out there says, "Yeah, I know. I've noticed that too." But look, again, it's the luckiest thing in the world. I'm a comic. I mean, this is the alpha and the omega of everything. So I love acting. I love writing. I have a book out now, Spoiled Rotten America. Been very, very lucky along the way. But again, if you woke me up in the middle of the night, and I realize the chances of that are small, by the way, but
Yeah.
if someone did and shook me awake and said, "What are you?" I'd say, "I'm a comic." And if I live another 50 years, and I have it on very good authority that I will, that I'm going to be a comic. And as long as you can stand there and say, "You know what, I've written this stuff, and I'm really, really pleased that I can come here and perform it for you." It's really a wonderful form, and there's just nothing else like it. So believe me, I'm the lucky one.
Now, Larry, you mentioned the word weird, and when you think of weird in Larry Miller's career, got to go back to one of my favorite movies, of course, Best in Show, where you played Max Berman, the guy who talks people down from jumping off rooftops and things, right?
The Tri-County hostage negotiator.
The hostage negotiator, right?
It's so silly. First of all, Christopher Guest and Eugene Levy, really folks I respect a lot, and they put a pretty good group of knuckleheads together, and there's some very funny people in those things, and great actors. And look, they're great calls to get in show business, but when the phone rings and it's him calling, it's a pretty good call, and that's a very good movie.
That's
those
a great
movies like Waiting for Guffman and
yeah.
and A Mighty Wind. I think they're wonderful movies, and really no stories are told that way. So yeah, it's a pretty silly character, the guy who's never talked anyone down successfully.
And then your son climbs up on the roof and refuses to come down, and you very lovingly coax him. What were the words you used? Do you remember, Larry?
Sure. Let's see. It's I'll stick my thumb in your eye and pop your eye out. And something. I'm going to put a nail in a bat and hit you with it until you bleed. It's just so awful. But you know what? The thing is, it struck me a few years ago. I mean, relatively recently, that almost everything I think is funny, or maybe one of the cores of all comedy, some of the stuff I think is funny, is based on being people who, if you ran into them in real life, they were just terrible people. You don't want to run into them in life. You don't want to be that person in life. You want to be a decent person and have friends and family, but you don't want to be someone like this. That's why it's so much fun, though, to become just an awful guy. But it didn't dawn on me till a few years ago that, well, I guess that's a pretty big building block of comedy.
And then he's hitting on Eugene Levy's wife.
Oh, it's just, again, what a terrible person. That was the first thing that started out. He said, all right, listen, just to start this, take the dog out of her hands, hand it to him, and then give her a big kiss.
Right.
Okay, Well, that's high on the list of the start of any scene in my book.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, it's all. Those guys are great. And look, it is not said lightly. Everyone has to do something in life. I've been very, very lucky. I love being a performer. What's going to happen tomorrow? Well, none of us knows. I mean, both in our work and even in the country and the state. Who knows what's going to happen if there's going to, that's why, whether it's economic troubles, any other kind of turmoil in the world, it's a pretty neat form when folks can go to a comedy club on a Friday or Saturday and sit down and say, you know what, I had a tough day today, and the lights go down, they can have a drink and sit there and laugh. It's a pretty neat thing.
Well, Larry Miller, and it's a rare, rare treat to have you in town because of your schedule. And Larry Miller, Friday, 8 p.m., Saturday, 2 shows, 7 and 9 p.m. at the new Ventura Harbor Comedy Club with Larry Miller up there on stage doing the stand-up thing this time, taking a break from the movies and the TV and everything.
I'll never be taking a break from stand-up again, and I'm I love being a comic, and that's what I am.
10 Things I Hate About You, work in progress, Lair. How's that going?
That's great. Yeah, 10 Things I Hate About You, by the way, which is, I think, a very good movie. And the same director, Gil Younger, and I'm playing the part again in The Father. It's going to be a series, and it's been picked up, and it's going to start on ABC Family in June. And that's a pretty, I think that's a good premise for a show, too. I think the show's going to be as good as the movie. And look, again, I'm glad they called and said, hey, why don't you be the dad again?
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I believe that would be a great idea.
Well, you've got personal experience.
Yes, another very, very loving, nurturing father.
And if ever you need a hostage negotiator, folks, he's your man. Larry Miller, Ventura Harbor Comedy Club this weekend, Friday and Saturday night. Larry, thank you so much, man.
Perry, you know what? You're welcome, and thanks for the help. It's actually, again, I love comedy. I love getting the word out, so thank you.
Hey, do you know Andy from the Comedy Club? Andy Fernandez?
I'm not sure we've met yet. Randy is an old friend, and one way or the other, in about 19 hours, I guess I'll be meeting him.
Say hi to Andy.
Yeah, hey Larry, how you doing? It's Andy.
Oh, Andy, hi!
Hey, I just walked in. I'm sorry that I missed it. I just walked in. I was running a little bit late, but I'm looking so forward to seeing you, man. I'm a fan of yours.
Well,
I really am a big fan of yours.
Pal, you know what? But it's same here. I was just saying to Perry on the air, on the spot he's going to use that. You know what?
Uh-huh.
I love comedy. I love all of show business. But I was just saying to him that it's a pretty great thing, as you know, when folks have finished their days, when they can come in and the lights go down into a nice club and have a drink and laugh, that's a pretty good thing in life.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's magic. You know what I mean? It's magic when we sit back and we laugh, and everybody just, takes life a little bit lighter and sees the humorous side of it.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful.
And
you are. I got to tell you, you're just one of the most favorite comics we're gonna have. It's like we're so excited to have you at the club. I couldn't even believe that you're gonna be there this week, and so both
pal.
Randy and I are gonna be on. We both want to work because usually one week Randy's on, and when I'm on the road, and when Randy's on the road, I'm running the club. This week we both took off to just work with you.
Oh, pal, that's great.
Yeah. We're really excited to see you, Larry.
Well, same here. Just look, have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you in show business tomorrow.
All right.
And tell Andy you'll gouge his right eye out. Would you, Larry? Come on.
It's just, you know what? As we were just saying also before, in movies or in stand-up or in writing, that's one thing. To be just awful.
He's talking about the character in Best in Show. He played the hostage negotiator guy who talks about the guy, usually you think they drop like a stone, but one guy hit a gargoyle on the way down and his head popped off like it was a truly frightening guy.
What a nice man.
It really was.
Well, until tomorrow, Andy, and thanks again, Perry. And
Yeah.
Larry, thanks, man.
We'll see you soon.
All right, buddy.
Larry.
Thank you, Larry.
Bye.
Okay, man. Take care. Bye-bye. What a good guy. Yeah.